Hi classic bodybuilding fans! This time we'll delve into the history of bodybuilding to present what I consider to be the 10 best legs ever in the sport. Don't forget that if you have a top ranking or a different opinion, you can let me know in the comment section. The legs are extremely important muscle group if you want a well-balanced and proportioned physique, as they represent a large portion of the entire body's musculature. As for the way to train them, it has always been with excessively hard work, given that the quadriceps are composed of slow-twitch red muscle fibers, which means their endurance is much greater than that of any other muscle. Well-developed legs have an impressive impact, whether in a front double bicep pose or a most muscular pose. Therefore, it's essential that you focus on achieving the development you crave. In this talk, we'll focus solely on the upper legs, quadriceps and hamstrings, as the calf will have their own top in another video. At number 10 is Ken Waller. Ken Waller was an American bodybuilder who earned numerous titles throughout his career, including Mr. World AAU 1970, Mr. America IFBB 1971, Mr. Universe NABA 1971, among others. His legs were exceptional for the time, with a good level of definition and muscle mass, developed through hard work with heavy squats and leg extensions. Thanks to their significant development, his 26.5-inch legs went down in history as some of the most notable of the era. Number 9. Lou Ferrigno. Ferrigno had extremely large physique, and his legs were a big part of it. From the beginning of his career, he claimed that they weren't given the attention they deserve, causing an imbalance in his physique. However, he managed to develop his legs to a spectacular level, showing great size and definition, even competing against the greatest bodybuilder of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger, earning great admiration. Number 8. Robbie Robinson. Robbie Robinson is a great bodybuilding legend, bringing to the 70s one of the most aesthetic physiques, with unique proportions and shapes. His legs are magnificent, very rounded, with a definition that shows off every cut in his quadriceps as if they were a marble sculpture. His physique remains an inspiration and a reminder of what true aesthetics mean in bodybuilding. Number 7. Ed Corney. Edward Charles Corney, better known as Ed Corney, was one of the most aesthetic bodybuilders of the Golden Age. He had a perfect posing style, showing off every part of his body with an elegance and class that left spectators in awe of his beauty. As for his legs, I find them extremely attractive. His quadriceps and hamstrings were famous for their deep and separation, creating the illusion of a marble sculpture. As a training partner of the great Arnold Schwarzenegger for a time, he was seen training his legs like a true beast, with super heavy sets of squats that brought out his full potential. Number 6. Frank Zane. Frank Zane is known by many bodybuilding enthusiasts as one of the most aesthetic bodybuilders in the history of the sport. His legs throughout his career were spectacular, but for me, the best were the ones he had in the 60s, because they had great size and perfect definition, radiating strength and power. Frank Zane himself admitted that during those years, he used to do a lot of heavy squats and to failure. Number 5. Reg Park. One of the greatest legends in the history of bodybuilding is Reg Park. He had one of the most powerful bodies of his time, with powerful arms, super deep abs, and extremely powerful legs that caught the attention of anyone who admired his physique. His quadriceps were beastly in size, with a definition that allowed every part of this muscle group to be clearly seen perfectly. His philosophy for training legs was simple: heavy sets to failure. He shared the same way of thinking with his great friend Arnold, inspiring them both to push their limits in every leg workout they did. Number 4. Jim Haslop. Jim Haslop was for me one of the best bodybuilders of the 60s. He may be little known to some, but the truth is that his physique is one of the most aesthetically pleasing in history. His legs are practically perfect, with a unique roundness and shape, and their size and definition perfectly complemented the rest of his physique. Jim believed that complete body development couldn't be achieved without doing heavy squats, because heavy leg work not only creates great legs, but also a long deep rib cage. Number 3. Stiff ribs. The greatest natural exponent of bodybuilding brought with him what I consider the third best legs in bodybuilding. They are perfect, with an exceptional level of muscle mass that made every bodybuilding tremble when he put them on stage. They also had perfect definition, allowing the separation of each part of the quadriceps to be clearly visible. He always defended the idea that a true bodybuilder must have a fully developed body to achieve the perfect aesthetic, demonstrating that harmony and beauty of proportions are the true essence of bodybuilding. Number 2. Sergio Oliva. The myth Sergio Oliva had at the time the biggest legs ever seen in history. They had a level of muscle mass that was out of this world, reaching a size larger than his waist, which is mind-blowing. These same legs competed head-to-head with the great Arnold Schwarzenegger in super thug battles for the Mr. Olympia title. As for the definition of his quadriceps, it was just right and necessary to make them look extremely powerful and imposing, making them, in my opinion, the second best legs ever seen in the history of bodybuilding. Before moving on to the number one spot, I'll give some honorable mentions to those bodybuilders who also have spectacular legs, but who didn't make this list. Paul Grant, Franco Colombo, Harold Paul, Clarence Ross, Salvador Ruiz, and Bob Beerson. The best legs in the history of bodybuilding, for me, belong to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Many people say Arnold didn't have legs, but the truth is that every time he stood on stage and flexed his 28.5-inch quadriceps, his massive size and definition were evident. Although he largely neglected the development of this muscle group early in his career, he focused so much on developing them that the improvement in the quality of his legs was increasingly noticeable every time he competed. At the 1971 Mr. Olympia, Arnold arrived with extremely impressive legs, well balanced, and with such deep definition that every part of his quadriceps stood out perfectly. Another extremely impressive example was the 1974 Mr. Olympia, which, according to Arnold himself, was the year in which he weighed the most weight he had ever achieved in competition. He arrived extremely impressively, and when he stood on stage, the spectators were astonished by such a muscular level. His legs were otherworldly in size, with an extraordinary roundness and shape, as well as a perfect definition, which for the time was mind-blowing. His dedication and discipline were unstoppable in his quest to improve his legs, which would go down in history as a symbol of power and strength. Having great legs is essential to achieving a balanced, aesthetic, and powerful physique. Over time, various bodybuilders have highlighted the unique qualities of their legs, from their definition and roundness to their immense size. I know many will disagree with my choice of Arnold for the first place, but I remind you that this is my personal top pick. I'd love to see yours in the comments. However, while preference may vary, it's undeniable that dedication and discipline are the key to achieving excellence in bodybuilding. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this top 10 list in which I mention what I consider to be the 10 best legs in the history of bodybuilding. If you have a different top, let me know in the comments. If you like it, you can support me by subscribing, linking, and sharing the video to continue spreading classic bodybuilding. Take care of yourself and keep training hard.